All right. Well, we know them, we love them, and humanity idolizes them. Do you want to guess who I'm talking about? Well, I know all of you here in the crowd today are going to say scientists, and I don't disagree. Because of the music venue and the theme tonight, I was actually thinking about boy bands. Now I know what you're thinking. How is it that boy bands are going to help us basically think about these complex issues that are arising from climate change and global planetary change? But unless we want everyone to say bye, bye, bye to Earth's polar bears or live underwater in the year 3000, give me just one night to change your mind. Those are all actual song titles. All right, so I want to start with some facts. Earth is in trouble. Our temperatures and our sea levels are rising. Our glaciers and ice sheets, they're melting. Precipitation patterns around the globe are changing, and biodiversity is in decline. The impacts of a changing climate can be felt across humanity, across the globe, and that could be through extreme weather events, flooding, drought. There are so many examples. But the reality is that these are really complex issues, and they're impacting the greater human natural system. If we're going to try and tackle them and have mitigation strategies that work, it's going to require a lot of effort. But this is where the boy band archetype, it may actually hold the key to assembling the global phenomenon that we need to tackle the climate crisis. And this time, I do actually mean scientists and working professionals across the globe. So what I'm gonna do is break down that boy band archetype, and we're gonna talk about it. So the first thing is a range of vocal abilities. Every time we hear a boy band song, it is this seamless ensemble of vocal ranges, right? They're anything but one note, and they're the songs that we love. Climate mitigation strategies are going to require interdisciplinary teams so that we can have a range of skill sets to create a toolbox that we can pull from so that we can address some of these issues. Now, the second thing that boy bands have is synchronized choreography. Their performances have moves that are smooth like butter. We all know it. We know that their choreography is dynamite, right? And it is for a reason. At the same time, that means that if we want our approaches to be show-stopping, we have to be coordinating our efforts across those interdisciplinary teams and across those programs. We really need to start working to the landscape and the time frame. Now, the third thing that is quintessential to the boy band experience is a collaboration. It could be with other producers or artists or even other boy bands, but together they produce something that's more unique than either of them created on their own. At the same time, we need to be thinking about collaborating across boundaries, across borders, across multiple scales of governance. This is only going to work if we all come together. Now, perhaps one of the strongest features of boy bands is their ability to reinvent themselves over time. They knew that what happened in the 90s and what worked for that market isn't necessarily going to happen or work in today's market. We still love the bops that they produced 20 years after they made them. And similarly, we can't expect the approaches that we have today to address today's issues to work in 10 years or 20 years. And we need to be planning for that. We need to be planning for an uncertain future. Now, the fifth thing is that boy bands have a way to connect with the public in ways that are really unrivaled through press and tours and album releases. And we all still sing Bop. Don't say you don't. But in terms of science communication, we need to be thinking about how to get the word out about our changing planet, how to reach new audiences in novel ways that maybe we haven't explored before. We really need to be thinking about engaging them and learning from communities. So if boy bands have taught us anything over the years, it's that interdisciplinary teams provide a range of skills and tool sets that we can pull from. We should be synchronizing our efforts across those teams. We need to think about these adaptable approaches for an uncertain future at multiple scales and across sectors. And we really need to be thinking about novel methods of science communication so that we can have a lasting impact at the end of the day. So, when all is said and done, we should be in a big time rush to move in one direction, working in sync so temperatures do not reach 98 degrees. The end.